Well, we're live right now. We got a few people that have come in. Um, I was going to try to bring up the chat on my computer if I can find it. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I think I have it on mine too. Look at that.
But well, if you do go into it on your computer or whatever, you need to mute it because there'll be like an echo.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
from the
If
chat.
you're if you enter it
It
like
has it on my side screen. Yeah.
okay, yeah. If it's just
Okay.
on your, if you're doing it on your, if you're going live on your computer, right? On your laptop. Yeah. So you should be able to just see the live at the side of it. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, I see it on the
Okay.
side chat.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. Then that's fine. All right. Well, anyway, hello
Melissa
everybody.
joined.
I'm Brandon Elrich, and my publication is Brandon Elrich is So Gay and Elrich Unraveling. If you want to if you want to read fiction and poetry, and I'm here with the adult orphan. And if you want to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your publication.
Well, hello, y'all. I think the only introduction you had to me was going crazy about my truck, but yeah. So I started Substack a little while ago, 3 months now, maybe, and it's growing pretty steadily. And my publication is about started with poems, and then I started doing some of my memoir entries. I think I've done 3 chapters on there now, maybe 4. Got a little crazy at one point and just kept uploading more. But yeah, my memoir is basically done. It's in the stages of editing now, so maybe we'll release a little more. I don't know yet. We'll see. I got 2 really good beta readers that I met on here.
Oh, okay.
Melissa, who's in the chat, is one of them. And then another
Oh, all
one
right.
is Barbara, aka Moa. She's like, some of her writing is kind of the best. I don't consider myself a good writer, but Barbara is like one of the better writers I've read on here. Just like obviously vocabulary and the way she uses it is amazing, and the meaning behind it. But yeah, that's my publication.
I don't know if I know. I don't recognize Melissa's name. And who did you say? Barbara?
It's Barbaro, and it's AKA Moa, I think is her full name.
Oh, okay.
Um, I'll send them to you because they're really. I mean, Melissa's does her morning dumps where she every morning she writes a bunch, and then Barbara is like there's a lot of poems, but she has like 3 or 4 like novellas she's working on, but they're
Oh, okay.
all good. It's Barbara's dark. It's like she's I think her title says like I write the stuff that people don't want to say out loud, and I
I
really
actually,
enjoy
I
that
mean,
kind of
I
writing.
write a lot. I write some dark stuff too, so I kind of like that actually. To kind of explore a different side of you, and not. I don't. It's kind of like I think it's kind of like actors when a lot of actors that play good guys and they suddenly have like a villain role, and they get to kind of
Mm,
explore a different side of them that people don't usually know about or whatever.
yeah,
But yeah,
like when my truck was stolen, that was the beginning of my villain arc.
yeah, yeah. I saw your live video that you posted about the truck. That was ridiculous. Uh, so did you are you able to tell us what's the result of that? Have you gotten anything from, I
uh,
mean, you got the shell back, right?
Yeah, so I got the camper shell back that night with the police. Like the little writing I did about it says actually the full chapter now. Yeah, um, and then I sold the shell, or I traded the shell for like a rooftop tent that I put on my new car. It was too big. I just felt like I was dragging like pieces of it around still, So I sold it, and then I'm waiting for the final insurance check, which has been kind of I had to haggle with the insurance company. You know how that goes. It's
Oh
boring
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
but it's almost
yeah.
over.
Dealing with insurance is horrible.
Yeah, let's turn this into the insurance chat. Let's talk about insurance premiums. And I'm just kidding.
Ugh, yeah, horrible. Well, anyway, I'm sorry that happened. That's, I mean, ridiculous. But I guess you just have to move on. But
Yeah.
So I think I don't know if I've read all three. You said you put out like three chapters of the memoir, but you're not doing it like in order, right?
Yeah.
You just kind of put
No,
it
I'm just
out.
picking the juiciest stuff, I think. Like, I
Oh,
started
oh,
with a Wake Up, which was the one about my grandmother. Sets the scene for like the nicer family stuff, but then it gives a little, obviously, little hints of darkness in that one too. And then what did I post after that? I think it wasn't more. Oh, then I posted. So my memoir actually it's like about like generational trauma. So it starts with my grandfather. So I actually posted some of his back in the 1920s, 1930s. He was arrested
oh, yes,
and
I read that
was
one.
he was yeah, he was a safe haver. So it's pretty. Nobody in my family knew that. So it was kind of I actually was the one who like emailed the state archivist and asked for his arrest warrants once he passed away, and found out that he had like been a safe robber and all this stuff. So I think it also shed light on his early years because like he was uh, like in the Connecticut this some school for boys, I guess, in the state where he was at, and it was like I forgot what the word is for it, but it was like where they put like a juvenile correction facility from the ages of like 9 to 16.
Oh,
So like his whole
right.
childhood he spent in like just for stealing bread during the Great Depression. Like that's what the crime said it was like stealing like a minor theft of like food because she was hungry. But it's kind of
Mm,
crazy. But
yeah.
that kind of led to who he was later on because he spent a lot of time in probably not so great places, and then and my dad same thing, and then kind of passed down. But that's what kind of the memoir is conceptually about, I guess.
Okay. So generational trauma.
Yeah, the old yeah GT.
Yeah. So the adult orphan. What? Why the adult orphan? What's the name about?
So as I release more stuff, you'll see um, my parents. Basically, I don't have a what is that years, and, and I think at first it really wasn't a decision that I made to go no contact. It was me writing letters to my father, who had already started distancing myself from over the years, saying, like these things that happened weren't great. I'm going to therapy now, and I'm realizing it. Like you probably need to get help for what's going on with you, both mentally and with alcohol. And I don't think that one was received okay. That was the first letter I sent, and we still had a tiny bit of communication. And then after, that was the other chapter I posted was Ginger Josh, Ginger Bedman. Sorry.
Oh,
Uh,
right.
and so the Ginger Bedman, I dated him, had a really bad breakup. And then I posted a video of myself singing Pink Pony Club, which family members began to ask before I came out. And so I had
Ah,
to, basically the cat was out of the bag. So I wrote the second letter to my father and said, hey, I think you've had this. Oh, it was his birth. I'd give it to him as birthday card, which was a little sassy. I realized at the time. It was like a happy birthday card. By the way, his favorite cake was it was called Italian fruit cake. It has the fresh fruit on top. So I basically made a joke about it. I was like, speaking of Italian fruit cake, I heard you saw the video, and
right.
and that was how I came out to them. And then they just stopped talking to me after that, both my father and my mother. So it was
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah,
Wow.
I always knew it was a thing that I feared to come out to them because when he would get drunk, he would just say things like, gay people are the worst and they're ending the
Yeah.
world. Never went to real church or anything like that, but just that was the overall vibe growing up. So it didn't feel like a very safe place to be yourself.
Right. Well, yeah, that really sucks.
Yeah, that's kind of where the name came from. And that's what I do through my memoirs. I kind of poke light at like jokes and make things lighter. I think I try to coping mechanism, call it what you will, but like it's worked for me so far. But
Yeah.
I've made a lot of really good connections being in the military over the 5 years or 15 years that I've been in, moving around. So I have a bit of a chosen family at this point.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up in a very conservative family and area, and being gay was wrong. Being gay was a sin. And so that was, I basically had to stay in the closet for a long time. I still, I still have contact with my family. I still go to family dinners and things like that. And they know, but we don't talk about it. It's not something that it's basically swept under the rug, and they're like, pretend that that part of me isn't real, or I don't know what they think in their mind, but I I'm okay with it. Not okay, but I'm like, it's better than like being, I guess, excommunicated from the family, basically.
Yeah.
I'm, I still want to be around my family and nieces and nephews and things like that, but it's just like, I don't really feel like I need to invite them into that part of my life. If I'm dating a guy or whatever, I don't need to tell them about that. I don't care if they don't know, or I don't need to share that with them. If they don't like that part of me, it's like, well, then why bring on that hate, So I'm like, okay, fine. You
Yeah.
just
I think that was probably my options too, and I think once it was out of the bag, I didn't really have those options anymore. But at the same point, I think the relationship wasn't good even until that point. If you could tell by the way it was leading up, like I don't think, if anything, I've been thinking about it like this way lately. If anything, it kind of gave me an out to separate myself from a really toxic, like family environment that I was already in. I probably would have stayed in it forever and kept making excuses for, horrible
right.
behavior. And then, hey, if this is what pushes it over, then maybe this is what was supposed to happen this way to get me away from that situation. So either
Yeah,
way, yeah.
it may have been may have been a blessing in disguise in a way, I guess.
Yeah. Try to be as
But
positive as you. Oh, ginger
right,
cookies.
yeah, ginger. I I told a few people to ask them to come in and check us out. So I hope we'll get some more viewers and stuff. But you never know with the lives, because there are all lives going on all the time, and you're
Yeah.
always competing with other people and everything. So just never know. But anyway, as we go on, we might get a few people coming on in. Onyx Rose said, "Is it that you're scared?" I don't. She might have. I don't know if she was asking me about that, but um, yeah, basic. I there is some fear in it. I'm sure with you too. You probably knew what the result was going to be when you came out, and
Yeah.
you didn't know, but you kind of do.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, your family, and I know
Hmm.
mine. I know how they feel about gay people, and they may have not been as vocal as what you're talking about, like with your dad or whatever, but they're very religious, and I know their convictions. I know how they would be. So I was like, well, I certainly wasn't going to come out while I was living with them. I could have been kicked out of the house or whatever, been homeless.
Yeah.
And most of my other family was kind of the same way, raised the same way. So they weren't going to take me in either.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
But is it just your parents, or are you like in contact with
no.
other family or
Well,
anything?
my family, my parents, I have a brother and I'm close with him. He just purchased a house back where we're from with his new fiance. So when I move back east, I'll actually be pretty close to him and we're going to do a bunch of stuff together. So I'm excited about that. So
Oh, that's
I still have
good.
my brother who's 11 years
Yeah.
younger than me. Uh,
Okay.
and then I have an aunt who I really like, who lives out in Arizona and collects rocks. She's like one of my favorite, one of my favorite people. You have to have
Oh, yeah.
a rock aunt out in Arizona who collects turquoise and all that. She's
Yeah.
lovely. And I actually talk to her about this a lot. She actually does view some of my stuff on here, and I share some of my writing with her, and it's kind of nice to hear her things that she didn't really know about, and to hear the feedback and perspective from her about her brother, who is my father. So I do have
Yeah.
a few. I have two aunts I stay in contact with, and my brother, I would say, and that's probably. Oh, and I have a cousin, but we don't talk much. Not that it's because of he's nice. He's just always busy. He lives out in
Yeah.
Tennessee somewhere, I think. Motorcycle mechanic.
Oh, okay.
Cool guy. Kind of a cool guy.
Yeah. So you mentioned being in the military. So are you out as far as your company, or I don't know how, I don't know a whole lot about the military, but I know people who've been in it. So are
Yeah.
you out to people
So
you're around
it
there?
depends on the units. Yeah, I've been at a few different units. At some units, it feels like a safer environment to do that in, where I talk about it a little bit. The one I just was at for a little bit, I definitely mentioned it to select people, but there was select. I don't know, for some reason that just the vibe didn't feel like it was. You just got. I don't know. You got to kind of watch. You don't want to be excluded from everything just because you're who you are, and at the same time, it's difficult because it is still very
Right.
much. It's still like the way the military is built. They're still, especially with everything going on right now, like with the way they're attacking, trans people's rights in the military. It's like you always worry
Right.
that it's gonna come down or go
Trickle
back up,
down.
and that was what that poem I wrote was about. Don't ask, don't tell. Like they say it's fine to come out, and like was it like 5 years ago? I was like, before I even came out, I marched in the Pride Parade as an ally in San
Oh yeah.
Francisco, and it was like that Pride event was one of the catalysts for me to tell like one of the first people. It was actually the girl I was dating. I was like, well, I think I like both. After that,
Yeah.
and then like I was doing it with the military though, and then it was very open, like very great. And then when they ripped out like DEI and all that stuff from the military and from the government, it's like now it just doesn't feel like that's you don't want to give them a reason to go ahead and find a reason to get you out, especially when you put in so much time and it's like
Right.
getting close to a pension check. Like I consider that a lot. Like where are my morals and where is this pension check? Like where do I draw the line with like a lot of things? So it
Yeah.
is it is like a kind of still a little bit of a battle to figure out how to navigate that. I'm still working on it, but
Yeah.
it's different for sure.
Have you watched that show Boots?
I did watch that show. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Of
I
course,
actually
that was set back when it was more the don't ask, don't tell kind of thing. You couldn't be gay in the military or you'd get
yeah,
kicked out. But I just wondered if that was kind of relatable to you at all.
it was. Yeah, no, actually, I think every time I see, so I wrote a chapter about it. I added it when I was so I also met an editor on here who was great. I'll give her a shout out, Allison Inc. I don't know if you've
Oh yeah,
seen her
I
stuff
know
on
that
here.
name. Yeah.
So that's where I started because I had my memoir sitting on a shelf for like 2 years. I wrote it like a lot of it 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and then it sat, and then I just started again like 6 months ago. And I started meeting with Allison while I was here and having appointments. She's great, like for editor, like you do hour session. She gives you like 10,000 words, and then you review it with her and talk like it was for what is that called, like developmental editing, because we had to reorganize and reshift some things. But
Oh, okay.
I added a chapter. The whole point, this whole segue is getting to the point. I added a chapter about boot camp and like showering, a group shower, because when I went through boot camp 15 years ago, it was a big group shower, and like
Yeah.
trying to navigate that, like knowing, like seeing these people, and then like, well, I'm still not even out to myself at this point, but now I'm like, why am I glancing too long, or what is going on here? And then,
Yeah.
yeah, so there's a chapter about that actually. It's called Boot Camp Dream or something like that.
Okay.
So it's pretty good.
So
I was pretty proud of that.
when did you first start like questioning yourself, or like can you remember back?
I honestly think it goes way far back. That there was like, I think there might have been a kid back in like, when you meet some kid and you're like, well, this is a weird friendship. Something feels weird here. But then you like don't want to admit it to yourself because obviously
Right.
now that's like it's easier. Especially I've said this a lot because I am bi and I like both, and it's like, why at that age I was like, why would I make it more difficult for myself if I can also do
Right.
this, which is not
Yeah.
gonna cause waves, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, you do that for long enough and you don't stay true to yourself, and those relationships start to turn unhealthy because you're not being open with that person that you're with, regardless. So I just think I
Yeah.
went the path of least resistance for a long time. So
Right. Well, that makes sense.
yeah,
I mean, I didn't date very many girls. I really only had one girlfriend, and I that's when I was like trying to be normal, trying to be straight, and it just we never had sex or anything, and I dated her for like 6 months or something like that, and I just couldn't do it. I was like, this isn't gonna work, Uh, she she would have if I at that time if I would have asked her to marry me, she probably would have because she really I cared about her and she loved me and everything. I did love her, but not, I wasn't in love, and there's no way I could marry her. We both would have been miserable.
yeah,
So yeah. Anyway, I don't know.
it's a
I'm not
common.
sure where that was going, but
It happens a lot. I feel like that's a common thing with people. They take a while sometimes to come out, and then by that time they have kids. I mean, my first girlfriend, her dad, like I do remember my first girlfriend when I was 18 because I was a late bloomer. Like the first time, her dad and her mom got divorced because her dad ended up being like not even bi. I think he was just gay. He's like, I'm gay. I was just religious and was doing the thing that was supposed to be done, and like
right,
uh, but they still have a great relationship. But obviously, the mom is she opened up to it later on. But I mean, her heart was broken, so you got to give her time to heal. But like, it happens a lot. It's a common story.
right. Yeah, Loquacious says, I hope you keep writing about this so people understand what this is like for soldiers sharing the same barracks.
I I don't think that's the take in my chapter, but I hear it. I think what I was more going for was like I don't I don't know. It wasn't like I was being a creep or anything. Like when you share a room with someone, it was just more so this happened, and then then all of a sudden yeah. I don't know. I could see what her take on that, but I don't think that was the meaning on what I was trying to get at.
Yeah. Um, no, Joe says nobody in the history of my, or she was saying family, maybe even extended family has been any kind of queer. I think that's impossible. And all of the branches of my family are terribly oppressive people, making individuals fake conformity. So yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
true too. If you have a large family, especially extended family, likely somebody in in your family is part of the queer community, and if they haven't come out, then they're just probably afraid to. It's unlikely that like a huge family is not going to have anybody that's gay or even or questioning at least.
Oh, I see. I would be more worried about you. Okay, that's someone else. You just kind of rekindled a little memory. I don't know if we're just gonna go on tangents here, but I do remember. So in the chapter where I talk about my grandfather, he kind of became like a very peaceful. He found peace in his later years, right? And he started wearing more jewelry. And I remember he bought like diamond earrings. And then my dad would make comments and be like, "I don't. He used to be tough. I don't know. In his old age, he's getting a little like fruity." Would be some things he would say, and I just think it's just an interesting take and like such a wild way to go to like there's such a I mean it was toxic masculinity, but like there's such a culture on not being decorative or showing off any like
Yeah.
and maybe my grandfather was, but he wasn't never gonna be able to come out from the generation he
Oh,
came from, you know what I mean?
oh yeah, definitely not. Yeah.
No.
But I mean, there are those who do, I guess, but it also depends on the family and how accepting they are and everything. But yeah, my parents, they don't like when guys get their ears pierced. They're still very old
Yeah.
fashioned, even though a lot of straight guys get their
Yeah.
ears pierced. Well, I got mine pierced just not too long ago.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, thank you. 6 years ago, 2020, I think is when I got them pierced. So it's, I was obviously an adult, and I, they, well, at the time I dyed my hair purple and got my ears pierced on the same day because I thought, well, one of them's going to distract from the other one. It's like I might as well do them both at the same time and just get it over with. But I was really surprised they were more shocked or kind of, I don't know what the word is, about my hair than my ears pierced. And because I guess because it was purple, and purple like represented more of a gay vibe. So I don't know. It was just crazy.
Isn't purple like is bi, right? Isn't that I don't know. I'm not that. I'm fresh.
I don't know about the color thing. I mean, I know like people used to say that when the Teletubbies were popular, the purple Teletubby was supposedly the gay one or whatever. But,
That's where it comes from.
you
That's the
know,
lore.
I don't know. It's just,
That should be your next article. Like the purple Teletubby turned a whole generation gay.
yeah. Everybody that watched the Teletubbies. I tried to watch them one time. I mean, I was a lot older when they came out, but I tried to watch an episode one time, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is just mindless dribble. I don't even know what was going on. It was like they were just jibber jabbering, and I couldn't find any kind of educational value out of what I saw. I couldn't watch the whole episode though, but I watched part of it just to see what it was, and I was like, oh, this is just weird. Anyway, that's just completely off subject. Oh,
I love
Onyx
where
Rose
this is
says she
going. Yeah,
loves
this is great.
Teletubbies.
This is. I have
Oh,
a Labubu,
Brandon,
which is as close as I have.
oh, what you have? What?
I have a Labubu over here on the shelf. It's about as close as
Oh,
I have to a Teletubby.
yeah, I've heard about those. I don't have one. Oh, Millie Jones Cowles says, Brandon, it's okay to be gay as long as they don't have to come out as your parents. That's how it was when I came out. Yeah. Yeah, they just, my parents just don't want to talk about it.
I think so. I do think my aunt has posed that question because she has conversations with my dad on the phone still once in a while. Not a lot, but like here and there, she'll give him a call. She's like, so she said, I heard about the whole situation. And she's like, if he came over for, the holidays, would you still let him come over? And he's like, maybe. I'd have to think about it. And he wouldn't be bringing anybody. So that was his statement. So it was the same. So there might be an opening here eventually, but I don't think I would even want to take it, to be honest. Based on my relationship with him already, I think I would, for me personally, it would just be regressing. And I don't want to do that for me. So
Yeah. Well, that is one thing my dad said too. When he asked me just point blank if I was gay, and I told him, and he said, well, if you ever bring a guy home to family dinner, you're the only ones that are going to be there because nobody else is going to show up, and it wasn't true, first of all, because I know a couple of family members that would be okay with it,
Yeah.
but others wouldn't. He wouldn't be okay with it, and I was thinking too, like if I had a boyfriend, and I probably wouldn't want to bring him home just because he probably would feel really uncomfortable there. And it's like, I
Yeah.
don't want to expose him to all that. It's like, I know how they feel about it, and they would direct their, um, I don't know if I want to say hatred, if it's that strong of a word or not, but you know what I mean? Like their animosity or their, I can't think, I don't know. I can't think of
Bigotry?
another word right now.
Is that worse than
Yeah,
hatred?
bigot. Well, I wouldn't, because they're Christians, so they don't hate anybody. You know what?
Okay. Yeah.
So that's what they say, at least. Because it's wrong to hate anyone, but they would like strongly dislike, or they would be discriminatory or whatever. So
Yeah.
I would think they would aim their discrimination at him. It wouldn't be just about queer people or gay people. It would be, oh, this guy is taking our son away or whatever, leading him down the wrong
Okay.
path, or you know and I don't know how he would feel about that, so that would be something we would have to discuss and be like, well, if you really want to go home to meet my parents, this is how it's going to be. So Yeah, just putting it
I
out
do
there.
have. I mean, I have friends. I won't say names or anything, but I do have a set of friends that are married, and uh, it's my buddy who's gay and his or bi actually, and his wife who's a trans woman, and she's from Vietnam. So when they go back to visit, she is still a boy to her family. Like
Mm, yeah,
it's a comp. Yeah, it's like you can't. They won't. But she still loves to visit her parents. She still loves them very much, and there's no. But she has to be who she was before to be around her family. It's just like it's still. Yeah. So it's just happens to a lot of people, and I just don't know. And again, I don't know if we have to dwell on it, but I just think that for me, it's different just because, again, I was like abused by this person. It's like I don't really feel the need to change anymore to like cater to whatever. Like I've said this too. Like, how can you wrap your mind around hurting your own child, and that's okay and forgivable, but your child now loving someone like healthily who's not the gender that you want, like you can't wrap your mind around that. Like that's
right,
not something you have to. It means something's messed up, right? So I just
right. Yeah,
I'm not
and
trying to compare
it's
the two things, but like it's kind of how I think about it.
yeah. I mean, it's true. I mean, it's hard to convince them or to make them see through that kind of lens. They've got their minds so set on this is how things should be, and I'm not doing anything wrong by feeling the way I feel, and yet it's a complete contradiction.
Yeah.
But
Think I should
um,
read something? What do we think we should do with her?
oh well, I was let's see. Well, we can go on with some of your writing. So you said, oh, what brought you to Substack, or how did you find out about it, or why did you come to Substack in the first place?
That's actually a good question. Yeah, because I have a story for it, right? Because that's the so I was in this place that I'm living in. I'm in California, but I was only here for a short time, and I went on a few dates. And one of the dates was with an actual like a writer who's like writes for TV because I'm out near LA, so there's a lot of like TV show writers and stuff like that. He wrote for some pretty popular shows, and his sister's a pretty famous person. That's as much as I'll say. It was one date
Oh,
though. It
okay.
didn't really go really anywhere, but I shared with him during the date we spent like in the park. Like, oh, I also write a little bit, but I have a memoir that is on the shelf for a long time. I still hadn't been working on it again, and I have some poems and some just stuff that I write, and I do have out a sci-fi outline too. And I was just sharing that with him, and we're talking about it, and we're talking about politics, a lot of different things. He's like, yeah, I have a book coming out, and my publicist wants me to use Substack. He's like, but I haven't made it, but I do hear it's really good for other writers. Like, and I was like, oh, that's cool, but I want you to look at my stuff. Like that was my answer. I was like, that seems cool, but like, here, look at this. It
Yeah.
was more of like a networking thing, I guess. I probably wasn't. Maybe that's why he didn't want a second date, because I was like, oh, he's just trying to
Yeah. Yeah.
advance himself. But it was just I was just happy to be with someone with similar interests, I guess. But I guess it might have came across a little pick me. But yeah, so then I think that night or 2 nights later, I made a Substack account and just really slowly started. I didn't post anything at first. The first thing I posted was like that horrible. I don't know if you scroll all the way and look at it, but it's this horrible. I wrote a poem about a worm. And it was like, the question that women always, or like your partner will always ask you, they'll say, would you still love me if I was a worm?
Oh, I heard that not too long ago, actually.
Yeah, it's like a pop culture thing. So I wrote a poem about that because actually I was dating a girl that I met in the park here. Because after that, before that I went on a date with the other guy, I made that poem, and she asked me, "Would you still love me if I was a worm?" And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." So I jotted down like this whole poem about like I would have to carry you around in a cup of dirt. I would have to make worm sunblock, and because you would burn up and shrivel up in the sun, and then like the townsfolk would whisper all this like stuff, and then then at the end I said like, but my answer was yes. After I thought all these thoughts, my answer was yes, and she didn't know the can of worms she had opened up in my life. So that was a cute poem. I was really proud of the poem, And then I made this
Yeah.
grotesque looking art to go with it. and I posted it on Substack, and I was like, this is hideous. This is absolutely hideous. And that was my
Well,
first.
yeah, being your first post, at least you can say that probably not a lot of people saw it.
That's good. It's just in the it's still in there. I didn't delete it, I think. So I think it's still in the archives if anybody wants to look up a horrible. I put popsicle sticks around this art that I made. It was like, looked like a third grader, like at the end. The drawing itself was good, but when I combined the poem and the drawing, it like turned into this weird thing.
Oh, I'm sure it's the cutest little thing. No.
I'm just over here.
I'll go look at it later. So then, so you've been out here for like 3 months or something like that. Was that what you said?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's hard for to follow me. I had a comment recently that my writing is like a mix of lunacy, so I feel like I'm a little bit ADHD and all over the place. I've been here for like 9 months total, but it was like, I think maybe 5 months ago. Oh, on Substack, you meant?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Substack 3 months.
Oh, sorry.
Like,
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I'm. Yeah, like 3 months, a little over 3 months, I think.
Okay. So how are you finding it so far?
Like I said, I love it. Like I found an editor. It re-inspired me to keep working on my memoir. Like, obviously I'm connecting with you on here, which is really cool, and talking about stuff that I don't have a ton of gay friends that live close. So that's really nice to have someone to talk about stuff like that. Like, especially the concepts of like who we are to ourselves and who we are to our family. It's good to have that. And I made some really good friends, like Melissa, who was on here earlier. We chat. She has a Discord. She posts music on her Discord and stuff. And like, it's a good community, like of reading and becoming a better writer. Like the more you read too, like the more you see these different styles, that kind of influences you, especially when you're in the beginning. This memoir will be the first thing I've ever published, right? So my writing journey is still pretty new.
Okay. Yeah. So did you write when you were younger at all? Did you enjoy writing like when you were growing up?
I didn't enjoy it. I don't think. I enjoyed reading. I found my one favorite aunt, the rock aunt, bought me, when she came to visit from Arizona, because she's always been out in Arizona since I can remember. She bought me like 2 or 3 Harry Potter books from Costco.
Okay.
She got me like the set of because at the time there was only 3 out because I'm old.
Yeah.
But
no, you're not.
So she bought me the set, and I actually wrote her a letter recently that I included in my memoir, which is really sweet, saying like, my aunt bought me a book. It inspired me. It took me from the bad place I was in and gave me allowed me to escape. And I don't remember the words of it, but it was just like something nice.
Yeah.
And because I wrote those other letters to my dad, it was nice to write a nice letter that's like, hey,
yeah,
thank you. Here's a thank you for hooking me up when I needed it.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah. But no, I didn't write.
Oh, what I was, while you were talking, I remembered, I'm on Discord too. I'm part of there are quite a few actually Substack writers on Discord and different channels. I don't know how all of Discord works. I know I'm like in a bunch of different channels on there, and there are other writers. I don't know if sometimes you have to be invited into certain channels. I don't know. It's all complicated, but
I mean,
I am on Discord.
My camera on before this start.
Yeah,
slide the button. So trust me,
right. So was that what it was? Was there a little slide?
It was a slide. It was so
okay.
It's not.
No, that's fine. I mean, there was a guy, the Mouthy Renegade Writer. He was doing a live one time, and he couldn't figure out how to turn his camera on. I was like, you might want to check like right above the lens. There should be a little, and he was trying. He never did get it, but I'm thinking there was probably that little. He's like, there's an indentation there, but I'm like,
why do they make it so hard to see? I sound so old right now, but why is this thing like black on black, and it's not?
Well, that's true. I mean, you have to feel around. There's like a little rough spot on mine, at least, because it has little grooves that you just use to switch over. But yeah.
I feel like your camera quality is better than mine.
Well, I'm on my phone, and if I were on my laptop, it wouldn't be as good because my My laptop camera is not as good as my phone camera, so there is that.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to go on my phone next time. I thought it'd be better on here just because I could do the chat and
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it looks fine, but it may be, I don't know, maybe your phone might be a little clearer, but
yeah. Should I grab my dog? We did say Coral was gonna make a experience.
oh yes.
I'm gonna pick her up. Get over here, Nugget. Oh my gosh, she's so sweet.
Oh,
Oh, it's a baby.
how old?
She's like almost 9. She's got 3
Oh,
legs,
okay.
so she's tripod.
Oh,
She's been a tripod since I got her.
okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, she's from Puerto Rico. One of my friends in the military, they found her down there during a
Oh, that's
hurricane.
cool.
Yeah, so I got her,
Oh,
saw a picture, and I was like, send me this little cute little dog. She's been good. She's got a lot of little things, but she's very good dog.
so how do you think she's gonna feel about the move?
I think she's gonna love it because I'm gonna have a yard. I actually am buying a house out there.
Oh,
So yeah,
oh, okay.
my first house. I close on it soon. I gotta fly out there, close on the house, fly back. It's really complicated and really it's really stressful with everything, but it's really exciting. So I'm gonna get a fence so that she can just be out laying in
Oh
the grass.
yeah. Oh yeah. She'll definitely like that.
She's like an outside dog for sure. She would spend all day outside if she could because she was born there. That's what she was used to.
But it's probably a little easier on you too, rather than taking her out and scooping and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I have a stroller right now that I push her out of my
Oh
apartment.
gosh.
We're like a whole thing. Yeah, we're a whole. Everyone knows her. She's a celebrity out there.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So do you know people in the area where you're going to be moving?
Yes, I have some friends out there that are like 30 minutes away, so that'll be
Oh,
nice.
okay. That's not too far.
Yeah, so I have some friends in the neighborhood. And then obviously my brother is gonna be like 3 hours away, and my best friend isn't like around that. They live in the same town, the town I grew up still. So
Okay.
so him and his family are out there. So definitely more than I have out here. Like out in California, I have a few friends here and there, but like not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be good.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
I've only been out to the East Coast a couple times. I just went last August. I met a few Substack writers at a writers retreat in Maine, and it's the first time I had ever been to Maine, so that was cool.
Yeah.
And I drove, and it was a total 24 hours to get there. So I went to Niagara Falls first, and because I'd never been there before, and that was kind of on the way to Maine from Missouri, and stopped there. That was like 15 hours, and then I had 10 more hours to go to Maine. But yeah, I met a few Substack writers that I've known for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. We had written on Medium before this, and we all kind of had moved over to Substack. I mean, it was everybody. I think all of us are still on Medium, but I don't know, their payment stuff has gone up and down. It's really hard to make much money on there anymore. So I was like, I hardly ever post on there anymore.
I've never heard of that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Medium it's just about the writing though. There's no additional, like there's no audio or chance to do live video or anything like that. It's just a writing platform. But yeah, that's one complaint I've heard from some people about Substack. They came here wanting a writing platform, and then Substack introduced things like the live video and audio podcasting and stuff. And there are some people that don't like it, but I do. I like all of it. I try to do as much as I can and do the audio podcasts and obviously do live videos quite a bit. So yeah, I enjoy it all.
Is it a pretty new feature that they added to this? Because I know Substack didn't always have that, right?
Right. Yeah. I don't know how long ago it was. I mean, they had to have added it before I came on,
Okay,
but not long. I don't think it was long before last year. Oh, loquacious. Thanks for coming in. Remember
yeah,
to, if for those of you who are still in here, remember to subscribe to the Adult Orphan. So go to click the button above and subscribe to him before you go. Oh,
Harry
hello,
Hog.
Harry.
I love that name. Is that
Yeah, he's actually he's a writer on Medium also. I knew him
okay?
from Medium, so and he's on Substack now, obviously.
Yeah, I'm
But
completely new to this world, so I think when some people when they go from platform to platform, somehow their followers just find them, or they link it to that platform and then they come.
you can import your subscribers, like if you have an email list on Medium. Well, Medium got rid of this option, but you. Oh, no, I think they still have partial. I don't know. Don't
Interesting.
listen. You can import your subscribers, your email list from one platform to another. Substack, you can definitely do that. You can download your email list, and if you decide to go to another platform or an additional platform like Beehive or Ghost or something like that, you can import your email list to that platform. And actually, it is a good idea, I think, to have an additional platform because if anything happens to this one, if for some reason Substack just suddenly implodes or whatever, you're you're out. You're like, what are you going to do then?
Yeah,
So it is good to at least at kind of at some intervals download your email list, and so you have it,
yeah,
and then if something does happen, you've at least got your subscribers, and you can take them with you to wherever you go.
that's good. Because I know I've seen some people get kicked off of here because they like Substack thinks they're a bot or something like that. So I guess maybe that would be a useful feature if you end up having to start
Yeah.
your program all over from scratch for that reason or something.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. I don't think it happens as much on Substack, but it happened on Medium a lot. They would do like a kind of a purge because they had a lot of AI bots on there, and sometimes if they thought someone was doing having a lot of engagement or whatever, they would assume they were a bot and kick them off. But
Hmm.
then they would appeal it, and most of them got back on with not too much problem. But you never know. So yeah, I think it's always a good idea not to put all your eggs in one basket, as the saying
Yeah,
goes. If you're just relying on one platform, you never know what's going to happen to that platform. Even though it looks stable, it looks like it's really doing well and everything. I think it's always safe to,
yeah.
you
Well,
know,
I'm gonna get
but
prepared. I'm gonna make a plan. Get a kit. What was that thing they were saying a few years ago? Have a kit. Have a plan. Tell your family. I don't know. There's
oh,
some.
I don't know. I
No, I
don't
think
know
it's a
that one.
military thing. It's like if there's a
Oh,
hurricane
okay.
or if there's like a weird thing, you
Oh,
need to, yeah, be prepared.
right,
Oh, that's the
right.
mantra.
Oh, Harry said he just deleted his Medium account,
Dang.
made his own site. Okay.
I know people do that too. Their own website.
Well, I do have my own website, but I can't. I don't have like I can't go live on it and things like that, and I can't really make a whole lot of money off of it. So that's why I came to Substack. And there is the option where I can link Substack to my website, but I think it costs $50 to do the connection or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know if it's
Harry was
I
an
don't know if
adopted.
it's worth doing that. Oh yeah,
That's nice. That's it. That's always I'm all for adoption, but
yeah. Harry is a good writer. Actually, he writes a lot of poems and fiction too. So if you want to, you could check him out. Check his website out, I guess.
okay, yeah, that's interesting.
But anyway,
I feel like I haven't
um,
written as many poems recently just because I've been working on the memoir. I feel like that poem for me, I don't know why, but it was like a something to do while I was like stopped working on my other writing. It was like I wanted to keep being creative in a way, but also I didn't want to. I did not want to work on the memoir for a little bit. I was just kind of over it for a little bit.
Well, actually, I think that's a good strategy. Like, I'll start a bunch of different drafts in my folder, and if I kind of get writer's block on one or don't know, I might get to a point where like I don't know where this is headed really. I've got to switch and do something else. So I'll just go to a different draft and try to work on that story and see if that sparks something where I can finish it.
Yeah.
And also, the poems or the fiction, there's always, if you've got those different options, that's a good way to kind of restart your creative process if you get in that block.
I feel like I was really excited with how well some of my poems had been received, and then I was really nervous to put out the memoir chapters because they're very different than the poems, right? Like short form, I feel like it's easy to be like kind of seem cooler, and then when you start doing long form, it gets a little, for me at least, it feels like I'm a little bit more simplistic and more just a storyteller at that point for how I write. So I felt
Oh
like I
yeah.
was like, oh, I hope I'm not changing my style too much, and people are just gonna be like, wait, what the heck is this? So
Oh
that was
yeah.
my being like I was nervous about publishing the first, but it was received really well, so I was really happy.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So I did a separate publication. I was doing mainly satire, humor, LGBTQ articles, things like that on my main publication. But I had a bunch of poetry and fiction that just been sitting around, and I've been thinking about publishing a book and all that, but it's so hard to get into the traditional publishing, but it's also hard self-publishing because you have to do a lot of your own marketing and
Yeah.
self-promotion, and I hate that. I'm horrible at self-promotion. Do not want to do any of that.
I think that's how I
So
met
I
you.
was like, huh?
I think that's how I met you, was self promoting my article, one of my articles on one of your notes or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember now. I was trying to remember like how did I even meet him or what? Yes, yes, I remember now. I kind of I wasn't mad, but I got like kind of I was like, "Really? You're just gonna come in here and promote your own article and not even comment on mine?" And you were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I did." I was like, "No, I'm not mad. It's just like,
I
and
did.
then
I was getting a little crazy when I first got on here, and I was just clicking. And I was like,
yeah,
algorithm hates me. Let me do all this, but then I realized it was a little too much, and you have to. It's a give and a take with any kind of relationship, right? So, but I did
yeah,
apologize immediately. I was like, that wasn't my intent. But there are some that I post funnily because it's a post about like hating self-advertisement, and I love those posts. So if it's because if it's a heartfelt post, right? Like someone's like they made an article and they spent a lot of time. I stay away from those. Like I'm not trying to.
yeah,
I'll stay away from it. I'll go and I'll comment and I'll interact and leave it to what that's about. Or maybe I'll post something if it's very similar, but I won't.
yeah,
But if it's just a note, I feel like not sometimes a lot of work goes into a note, but if it's just a note, I'm like, all right, let's throw it on there, or especially if it's a note about like hating self promotion, I'm like, yeah, me too. I hate that. What jerks? And then below I post my.
yeah. Well, that would actually be funny. Actually, I would find that funny probably. But um, do you like interact with many? Do you like comment on other people's notes and articles and things like that?
Yeah,
Okay,
no, I do. Yeah.
I
That's
was
how I
just
met. That's how I when I first met Barbara, which is one of my favorite writers on here. I read one of her things and it was just amazing, and then she sent me like some stuff that she hadn't even shared yet, which is really cool. Like that's what I think is cool about
yeah,
Substack. Like you can just get in the DMs and be like, "Hey, I haven't shared this yet, but since you like this style, I think I have something else you might like. Do you want to read it before I share it?" And I read it and I was like, "This is great." And she shared it, and then like she made it. I think she ended up making it like a subscriber only feature, but she gave me access to it because I was one of the person that inspired her to post it. Like that's what she said, anyways. So I was like, "That's really
well,
nice."
that's cool.
And that made me
Yeah,
feel like
well,
I made
if
a difference. So
yeah, well, that's one thing I was going to recommend if you hadn't done a lot of that. That is one way to gain a lot of like subscribers and make a lot of connections. You comment on people's posts and leave comments on their notes and stuff. Of course, genuine ones, so
yeah,
it's not like obviously not fake or anything like that. But um, that's how I connect with a lot of people, and especially like in lives. I became part of a big community of people when I started commenting in the lives and having conversations back and forth in live videos. There's some like about a year ago, I started watching the Daily Whatever show, and there were a few people that I already knew who were in the chat, and we were having conversations back and forth, and I met more people through that, and just kind of built this community. So it's really, I think the connections makes a big difference in your publication and how you're growing on here.
Yeah, I think it's quality over quantity in the beginning, or even later on too. But I do agree with that. Like, I had those. I think I have like probably 5 or 6 BFFs on here. You know what I mean? Like that are way more near and dear than the rest. Not that the others are any. I just don't have that connection.
Yeah.
Like, you just make a stronger connection with some people based on either what they're writing or just like the interactions that they're giving and taking. Because so I just. Right now, that's great, and then like a few of them showed up on here right away, and it was nice to see them. And it's like very community. And I think that's important when you're trying to create something here, so it doesn't just feel like another one of those like. Because I think that was a post I made when I first got on here. It was like, this feels kind of like Instagram, because it was the way I was perceiving it, right? Like I was looking at it, my brain had been already messed up by all these other apps, and I was looking at it like. What did I say? I said instead of Instagram models, it was all model students on here raising their hand, trying to get called on. Like, again, that was me projecting, because that's what I wanted. I wanted someone to read and look at me and see it. So,
yeah. Oh, Harry says, you have more talent in your little finger than I have in 77 years at it. You are publishable, Brandon. You're lazy. Get on it.
Yeah, I saw that. That's really sweet and also like kind of mean. I like that. It's like a sweet, it's like a little layered treat there.
Well, that is how he is. So
no, I like that. Yeah, that's my style.
So I do not take offense to it. So yeah, it's fine.
So you
some of it is laziness.
Doing like a poem book or like an actual like novel, or what would you publish if you were to publish?
Well, I have published a book, but I self-publish on Amazon. But again, it was like the self-publishing thing. I put it out there on LinkedIn. I was promoting and things like that, and I would get people to buy it and all that. But as soon as I stopped self-promoting, no more sales. It was like, come on, do I have to just constantly do this the rest of my life and not get much out of it? So I was like, I don't know. And I started writing a bunch of short stories and poems, and I thought maybe I'll publish a collection of fiction and short stories, or fiction and poetry. But after I'd been through the self-publishing route, and I've tried the traditional publishing route, I'm like, well, I've got an audience on Substack. I'm going to put it on here and I'll charge for it. So at the beginning of this year, I created a second publication called Elrich Unraveling. And that's where I have my short stories and poetry. And most of that, a lot of it is behind a paywall, because I'm doing that instead of publishing a book. People will, subscribe to me, a paid subscription, instead of buying a book at the, publishing it and buying the book or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does. It's a different avenue for sure, just to get your stuff out there and then to get something back for the work you put in, right? So it's whatever. I don't know yet. I don't know which way I'm going to go. I definitely want to publish this memoir, and then after that I'll see, because maybe I will turn my sci-fi idea into something more like that. That could be a way to keep me motivated to work on it too, right? I think that would, if you have you're waiting for something every week or however you schedule it, then it pushes you to keep writing, which might help.
Yeah, and that's another reason why if I've got people paying for this, I've got to keep it going for them. I've got to get them what they're asking, what they're paying for.
Oh, Harry Hogg asked, why is AO hiding? You missed the beginning of this whole. He said, look for an AO. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, no. I saw that too. And I was like, did we cover that part? Did you explain that?
Oh, not really. A little bit. So I'm wearing the mask mostly because my memoir, which I'm gonna publish, and some of the I published some chapters of the memoir so far on Substack, is going to be about obviously what memoir is about, like your family, your life, and in my family, I had a lot of generational trauma, like I spoke about earlier, and some of
Oh
it
yeah, we
was
did talk about that a
yeah,
little
we talked
bit.
about that. So there's been abuse in my family quite a bit, and it'll be released in there. But like, I will say, from my perspective, nothing of the sexual nature, just physical abuse. But it's pretty carried on for a long time, and it still carries on sometimes with some people that are still very much alive. So that's why I wear the mask mostly. It has nothing to do with me being ashamed of being bi or anything like that. It just has to do with keeping some people out of this and keeping myself safe as well from like, what is that? I guess it's called libel. I don't know. I'm still new to this, but like getting sued by, that'd be like horrible, right? Like that's what I was talking about with the truck, right? Remember when I when I did my whole manic episode about the truck, I was like trying to get a deal on it because I was like, I don't want to overpay or send this guy $75 after you already stolen
Yeah,
my
and then
kid.
then you ended up using your Facebook account
Yeah,
to
by accident.
yeah,
That's the same thing.
yeah,
It's like I don't want to do all this growth and healthy things and therapy and write this book to really deal with all these feelings and then get sued for it, right? By the person who caused me these initial damages. So it's like
yeah,
just try to be as safe as I can for now until I learn more about it and what
yeah,
I can and what I can't put out there. So that's why I'm wearing it. Hopefully.
yeah.
Harry Hog. Also, you might have missed the beginning. I'm also not a true orphan, and I feel like I need to put quotes around it maybe so that people don't. I'm not taking a title from people that actually are orphans. It's just mostly I just don't have a relationship with my parents anymore after I came out.
Yeah, I mean, it almost, I don't know, it almost is, I don't, because they've basically cut you out of their lives. So, I mean, it's almost like a death, I would think. But anyway, we've gone an hour, and I feel like we really didn't. I think we got everything that I was kind of planning on talking about. I hope you feel like you covered everything that you wanted to get out there.
I hope I didn't blab too much. Yeah, I didn't really come
Oh
into this
no.
with any idea about what I was going to say. I kind of just took one of my little anti-anxiety pills that I just got prescribed, and I was like, "Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Let's see how it goes." So.
Well, I thought everything went well. So I hope we can do this again. Actually, I mean, it just doesn't have to be a one-time thing. We can talk again on a live sometime if you want.
Yeah, maybe we'll come up with a top like something more specific, or if anybody in the chat has something they want to see or something like that. I don't know. I'd be down.
Yeah. Oh, Rouser, you're just coming in at the end, but we're just wrapping up. So you'll have to watch the playback when we get the video published. Well, if you're still in here watching, please subscribe to the Adult Orphan AO, and I'm sure you'll get subscribers after this video, so that should be helpful.
Before I go, I want to show this. I'm a weird, I want to show this. So it's the beginning of my book cover that I'm thinking about using, but I made a little logo, and it's the AO.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Like for the publisher thing. Yeah.
I like it, actually.
I got some crafty things coming in the mail tomorrow to try to put the title of the book on there. I'm just kind of like trying not to use AI. I'm trying to make this better than the horrible worm experiment.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I like it. Approval.
Thank you.
Not that you need mine, but
maybe you can have me on one of your baking episodes. I have I have this New Zealand pink what is that called? Like a smock? No, apron.
Oh yeah.
I have like a pink apron with like the little donuts on it and kiwis from New Zealand when I went there. So maybe I could join you for one.
Do you cook?
No, I just have a pink apron. I do a little bit, but not like that.
Well, I mean, I've never done this, but I could do like a teaching video where like you're on there too, and I tell you what ingredients you'll need beforehand, and you can make it live with me.
And how they come out differently or something. Yeah, maybe. Let me get to where I'm moving to and then get settled.
Oh yeah.
Right now the kitchen situation won't be good, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it doesn't have to be right away, but.
Oh, Harry Hog, he loves the top.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, it's time to go, but I have one more. I'm always one more thing. Speaking of love the top, my most famous Substack note is someone was talking about buying tops. They're like, where does everyone find tops? Where do they find tops? And I was like, she was talking about shirts, but I was like, I said, as a gay, I read this wrong, but it works in both contexts. That's because you do see that on the dating sites. Like,
yeah, I'd be like, where do you find tops? Grinder.
Yeah. So I just thought that was funny. Anyways,
yeah,
it's been great.
All right. Well, I'm really glad we did this. I'm hoping we'll do it again. And good luck on your move.
Yeah, it might be kind of not super engaging on here for a little while till I get to the East Coast.
Yeah, that's understandable.
We'll pick up again. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming in, and thank you. I will talk to you all later.
You're teaching me. All right. Bye.
Bye.